Hi everyone, welcome to Heart of Philly. Tonight we are with Charlotte and David with the Voorhees Animal Orphanage, and we're going to learn about how you can be a help and adopt one of these wonderful animals. So Charlotte, tell us about this orphanage.
Thanks.
And where you're located here in Voorhees, and tell us a little bit about how long you've been here and how many animals you have here in a week, and what people can do to find home, place these nice pets.
Yes.
Thank you. Well, the Voorhees Animal Orphanage began in 1988, so we have our 30th anniversary upcoming. We are located in Voorhees, New Jersey, on Cooper Road, but we serve 13 municipalities. We're a municipal shelter and an adoption center. So we'll do a tour in a moment. We have cats and dogs. What a municipal shelter means is we take in strays from those 13 municipalities. We also take in lost and found animals, and we try to rehabilitate them and rehome them, find them new permanent homes. We have 65 dog kennels. And 65. We're a busy place, and we have an additional about 35 cat cages with an additional holding room. So we run a pretty robust ship, and we're always looking for people to come in and adopt. Definitely adopt, don't shop. But to promote what we are and what we do, we have a variety of different events. Actually, coming up this weekend is our largest annual fundraiser. It's Woofstock. This is our 19th one that we're putting on, and it's presented by the Camden County Board of Freeholders. It takes place at John Connolly Park in Voorhees. And admission is $1 for friends are invited, so there are animals, food, fun. It's a day of music and celebrating pets, community, and we certainly invite everybody to come to that.
Sounds like a really fun event.
It's a fun event. It's intended to be, we're breaking records this year. We've raised more money through sponsorship, through vendors, through gourmet food trucks. It's an event to not be missed.
We'll have 100 vendors there, plus about another 30, 40 rescues.
Mm-hmm.
So it's an open event for the animal welfare world for adoption. So it's a great event.
And this is an annual event?
It's an annual event. We were rained out by Hurricane Joaquin. So instead of canceling it, we just delayed it until this weekend, and should be a great day.
Oh, I heard the
Weather
weather's going to be
permitting.
good.
It better be. It's changing by the hour, but it looks good now. So, and one thing I'd like to say also, we're a volunteer-based organization. Excuse me. We have about 12 to 15 staff members, and then the rest is a group of very dedicated volunteers. As you see in the cat room here, these are all volunteers. They come in every day, take care of the cats, socialize, change the kitty litter, play with the toys, change the toys out, whatever. Same thing with the dogs. Every day we have dedicated volunteers, whether they come 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, but they come every day.
How can somebody sign up to volunteer?
Yeah, come on our website, which is vaonj.org, and there's a volunteer spot that you can click on and bring you to that. We have volunteer orientations. And then depending if you want to do cat, dog, both, if you want to do events, we do a lot of dine and donates. At the holiday time, we have tables set up around different Santa events at the nurseries. A lot of the different businesses invite us in at this time of the year, so it's good. And we're always looking to raise income to support our efforts here, because as you can see, our building's not in the best shape, and we do what we can, but we need the dollars.
Yeah, to piggyback on that, the building not being in the best shape, we still do everything we can for these animals and give them a place to be home. But we're excited because we will be embarking on a major capital campaign to get us a new building. So
that's
always
great.
looking for support. On our website, there's a donate page which just lists the various ways that people can be involved and support financially. Like Dave said, volunteering. We have a robust cat fostering program. There are a lot of different ways to be involved.
The bulk of our cats are actually outside of the shelter. They're in the various PetSmarts, Pet Values to people's homes. The kittens are all fostered, and our volunteers' homes, and it's a beautiful thing. I have to say, I mean, I lived up the street, and I would hear the dogs in the morning when I would wake up, letting my guys out, and one day my kids were gone down, coming out of the supermarket, I saw Voorhees Orphanage table and wanted to volunteer, and 4 years later, here I am. But I still come here as much as I can. I come here 2-3 days a week to walk the dogs, and I'm a dog person, becoming very much a cat person though. But it's all good. It really is. This is a great place. It really is.
What do you find is the greatest challenge in finding a good home for these pets?
Well, I think something that differentiates us from a lot of other shelters is we have a really rigorous adoption application process. We tend to not do same-day adoptions. We do a thorough background screening, certainly a landlord screening to make sure pets are even allowed. We aren't just looking to place animals, we're looking for permanent homes. We want a good home and a permanent
And
home.
we strive to be a no-kill shelter for adoptable animals. So, I mean, and we live up to that. It's great. We just adopted out, we just took our longest resident dog 5 years.
5 years?
All right, find another shelter. 5 years. It's but went out into rescue. And this is something over the past year we've become very inclusive in working with various rescues and foster programs. So it helped our long timers. I mean, one of my favorite guys, Miles, he was here going on 4 years. And it takes time maybe for that right guy to walk through the door, and that chemistry, and that's what it is. It's chemistry. It's a matter of giving all these animals the opportunity. It does, and we work the volunteers. We work very hard in socializing them and getting them accustomed to people, because we don't know where they came from. You don't what situations the cats came from, the
They
dogs.
might have been in an abusive situation.
Very much so.
Right?
We just Mac, and you can see this on our website. Mac was here going on over a year. He was a full bulldog pool pit. Great dog. He was left outside for 10 years. He had an embedded collar. We spent a couple $1,000. Animal control confiscated him, and he sat for about 6 to 8 months. I forget the time frame, but he sat there because there was court issues. So we're the holding pen until the court, and we finally got it released to us. During that time, it was heartworm positive. We treated him for that. We took care of the embedded collar. And once again, we operate in the red. So, I mean, but, certain things take priority. We do what we need to do. And then over the past 4 or 5 months with Facebook and this and that, we got Mac's story out there, and someone took him in the foster. And foster just means they're going to get him out of the kennel environment into a home environment, get him acclimated, and hopefully get him adopted. Well, knock wood, guess what? We had another failed foster. And a failed foster means they adopted him. They loved him so much after 3 days.
So now, how long ago was that?
Last week.
Oh, great. And
So-
have you heard back from the family?
Yeah.
How's
It's great.
he doing?
Great. I mean,
That's good.
actually they brought him here when they signed the adoption papers. So I mean,
so nice.
that's what makes this place special. Stories like that. And we have them all the time. It's really cool. I mean, you'll go through there now. We were at capacity, 65 kennels, filled forever. We're running probably right now about 60% right now we have, which means our municipalities are starting to slow down, or our adoption rates are also up, but this also allows us to go into other shelters and start pulling dogs and saving more lives, which is very cool, because we want to have these kennels filled and flip them. You want to flip them.
Right.
You don't want them staying there, but you want to give them all the opportunity.
And how often do families come in, or how often do you see people coming in? And what time of the year is it busier at?
Hours.
Hours.
I mean, our hours are what, Charlotte?
Hours, okay.
We are 12 to 5 and 12 to 7. 12 to 7 during the week, 12 to 5 on the weekends. Weekends are extremely busy because, of course, kids are out of school. But we have families coming through all the time,
Every day.
individuals
Every day.
coming through all the
That's
time.
good.
Yeah. And what's especially important, I think, is that we have a robust group of volunteers, but we have expert volunteers. We have expert staff. So to speak about the socializing aspect, we're taking animals that, like we said, we don't know what their backgrounds have been, and our expert staff, which we're trying to highlight through this new initiative, which is our meet and greet series, and that's once a month on a Saturday, we are having educational sessions, which are run by our staff. They are expert dog handlers, expert animal wellness. They can advise people who are either interested in adopting or who have recently adopted, or the community at large who have their own pets who want to learn about animals and animal care, animal wellness, getting ready for winter. All of these things help give our animals a better chance to be adopted, because we have the sensitive volunteers and staff who are helping get them ready for those families to take them.
And do you have physicians that volunteer?
We do.
Also to
Well-
help in the care of the animals or when they're sick?
Yeah,
You might
How-
feel
how
like a
does that
volunteer
work?
because of how much we use them, but we do have a
Yeah,
dedicated.
we contract out a veterinarian who's right up the street, and he comes in here every week. We also have for services, surgical services and such, we get discounted rates from a lot of the veterinarians within the area here. So they all know us, they work with us, they know our situation. Hey, we can't afford that $6,000 operation, okay, we'll do it for $1,500. You know, they're not in it necessarily to make a profit off us because, hey, we don't have it.
And importantly, I think close to half of the animals that we bring in, we had about 1,080 animals come through our doors last year, incoming. And close to half of them required some kind of medical attention, whether it was your straight and narrow spay and neuter or some really more severe medical procedure. And that takes its toll.
That's one of our
on
largest
the budget.
expenses.
Yeah.
That's our largest expense is medical expense. That can float close to 100,000 at some points with us, and
For the dogs and cats. to
dogs
get
and cats.
spayed
Well,
and
and
Remove collars
Yeah.
that are embedded.
we,
Yeah.
Right.
we have
Or any injuries you might come across.
Yeah.
too
We have
when they're
injuries.
coming
We
in.
have untreated ear, eye, dental infections that just reach a point when they're with us that it's upwards of $1,000.
and we spend it though. Here, one of my favorite stories is I was, one of my favorite dogs was Bruce, who was a lab pitty mix. We get a lot of pitties here. We get a lot of everything. But Bruce,
big happy family.
yeah, Bruce, big black, white chest, and he blew out his ACL. All right, do that in any other shelter. I don't want to tell you what's going to happen.
Don't.
All right. Myself and actually Jennifer, another, she's a dedicated volunteer, but also on board with us, Jennifer Bailey. We took turns taking her to Pet PT. Dr. Hal Smith, unbelievable guy. He has a pool in his place. He has a treadmill that you put the dog in, and they shut the gate and it fills it up with water, so no impact. We would take him there 2-3 times a week. No surgery, completely healed.
Oh, that's
All right?
great.
It took 8-12 weeks, and you know what? He got adopted.
That's great.
Yeah, I mean, cool. I mean, that was really cool. So, I mean, that's stuff we do. So, and that's what makes us different. I mean, you mentioned you guys, we stopped at the wrong place coming here,
But we found the right place.
Yeah, but here's our issue, because I'll talk to friends. I had a friend of mine whose mother passed away, and he goes, hey, David, instead of getting flowers and all that, we told everybody to donate to XYZ shelter. And I go, thanks, Andy, but we're the Voorhees Animal Orphanage. They're around the corner. All right? We're all good,
Right.
but, we're different. I mean, we have a shelter at the corner, their adoption center. We have another adoption center over in Lindenwold. They're all doing great things, but we're the community shelter, all right? We're the one that if you have a problem with your dog, for whatever reason, you're moving, you can't go to an apartment, you can't have it, someone got sick, we get it all the time, someone died, all right? That animal's coming to us, all right? It's not going down the street, it's not going around the corner, and so many of the donation dollars, unfortunately, go to these places, and nothing personal, but the public doesn't realize we're your local shelter, everyone, all right? We are. We're your
They
local
are.
shelter.
The local shelter here.
We're the
Voorhees,
local shelter that's
shelter
supporting
right here.
Camden County.
Okay.
And we're pulling dogs out of Burlington County, and we're doing some good stuff. So, I mean, when it comes to asking for that buck or thinking about, hey, you want to help out your local shelter, please look at our place. We need the
here.
help. We
Right
need
here.
the help. We want to have a beautiful building that's state of the art, that's energy efficient. You know, you can feel the draft and the wind
Right,
blowing
yeah,
through here.
I was just going to say, when the winter, because now we're into November,
All
is
right.
coming, what do you do?
Here you
Because
go.
you have a heating.
We do.
and
We,
you have to
we
keep
do,
the
and
animals
that's one of
warm.
our large expenses. We spend, I think, about $35,000 a year in oil and gas, and we have both, and electric. So that's a lot of money. One thing that just happened was, though, shout out to Lowe's. Lowe's sent a crew in here, all right,
Wow, that's
and
great.
replaced part of one side of our kennel roofs. They sent a whole team in here with a
That's
dumpster and
great.
saws and people and wood and material and metal, and it was good. So we got to do the other side, but hopefully that will get done soon too. So it's good.
So, you know what, I'm looking around and I could see with all the volunteers here working and feeding the animals and playing with them and everything. I'm only here not too long, and I see what people are doing here, and you could see the
You're drawn to this place once you
see
start.
the love for these
Yeah.
animals, and you at home, you wanted a beautiful cat or a dog. They're here. They're here.
Here waiting for
They're
you.
here waiting for you to have a good home.
Who's poking at me back there?
Who's talking? And I think David knows every name
he's
of all
talking
these
to
cats.
some of them,
Right?
yeah.
Knows all their names. You do too, probably, right?
Most, yeah,
And
we're
they're-
getting there.
So thank you so much for having us here.
Thank you for
We're going to
coming.
go around and see some of these beautiful animals. Come here any day. They're
7
open
days a week.
7 days a
7 days a
week,
week.
and bring one of these precious animals home. For you to have a pet, you don't have to be alone. Have a cat or a dog, right? I mean, I know even in my own family, you talk about a funeral. I went to my aunt's funeral, and her little dog, a little toy poodle, they were going to have the dog put to sleep.
Right.
Okay, I don't care if my cousins are seeing this now. My daughter cried, Mom, we can't let this happen. And Candy came home with us.
Good, good.
And she had a
And we have
bad
that
back
happen
leg.
all the time.
This dog never was walked. She's only 5 pounds. Never was walked. Never had this kind of love that, when we brought her home, and she's with our other dog Marley now. They look out for each other. My daughter brings her for a walk every day. She gets so excited. On her 3 good legs, she out races Marley.
You know what
They
the best
race
thing
around
is?
the leg. And this dog's happy. You can see the smile on her face. She does. She smiles.
And they don't talk
Yeah.
back.
And you know what? When my daughter comes home from work, they love you. They greet you at the door, and they love you. And there's nothing better than to come home from a long day and you have a pet, and a cat or a dog that's so happy to see you. And the love is unconditional from them, and for you to give too.
They're
right?
looking for homes. We're at 419 Cooper Road in Voorhees, 7 days a week. And we invite you to come to our events. We invite you to come and check us out, meet our animals, meet our staff, meet our volunteers, and get to know us.
And come to Wolfstock Saturday.
Yes.
Wolfstock.
They'll come in.
11 to 4. We have the Furco String Band leading in our alumni parade, and all kinds of events for the kids. We'll have live music. What else?
Some very special guests, Dr. Liz Severino, who's an animal communicator, Master Chef Joseph Poon.
I
will
know
be there.
We know Joe Poon.
Yep, we love Joe Poon.
We were looking for you, Joe. We're gonna
You'll
get
find
you.
him
He's
on
there.
Saturday.
Oh my goodness!
Yes,
We were just
so-
talking about him the other day. Oh
That's
yes, we filmed Joe. We know
Oh,
Joe
good.
well. Hard of Feeling knows Joe Poon.
Awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, it's our biggest fundraiser, and we have a lot of treats in store. So please,
So
please
come out.
Yep. Get a picture of Kathleen through the channel there. Because it's you. Kathleen's one of our dedicated staff that could not live without this place.
Yeah, tell us about the dog handlers.
So some of the dogs, the stress of being in the shelter, it takes its toll on a lot of the animals, and so some of them need to either to be calmed down or exercised differently or given different tools, like certain kinds of harnesses and leashes won't work on all of them. And so the dog handlers work on a lot of obedience training, behavioral training. They get these dogs to do amazing things. They're very well trained, they're very
trained when you adopt
That is what we're working to do, is to get them socialized and ready to go.
Our volunteer program, we have a dog mentor program where, if you notice on the cage cards, they're color coded.
Right.
And volunteers are allowed to take out what they're permitted to based on their training and comfort level from the mentor that they're working with. So we also got to push for safety and all that kind of stuff. So I mean, we've had a really good safety record, and not good again. Let's keep it going. All right?
This
So,
is the something we want to see.
yeah, you see that?
Look at this
That's
little
great.
guy. Look at him.
This one's brother just got adopted. It was two sweet puppies. Your family's coming to get you tomorrow.
You're going
But you
home.
can see the stress level and the ears back, and you know, shelter life is, and for the ones that are here for longer, it is extraordinarily tough on them. So some dogs are just so timid, they really cower. We need to get them out and into homes.
He's so cute. He's beautiful.
Really beautiful.
And it's amazing here. When we do bed down, the dogs know it. They get their treats. They know it's the end of the night,
Yeah.
and they're down.
And it's nighttime.
It's nighttime. Yeah.
Now, I see that you have a number of pit bulls. My son actually
We
raised
do.
a pit bull.
We do.
And he's like a baby.
You know something? I was never a pit bull person. I never handled a pit bull until I came here, and they're great dogs. I handle them every day. They're just like any other dog. It's really the environment they come from and how they're treated. I mean, any dog can be what they are, but they're the most affectionate, lovable dogs,
Yeah,
and they're
my,
great.
My
They're great.
son's dog, Capone, he's like a big baby. He's you know, he's
My favorite guy, I always have a new favorite guy because they keep getting adopted on me, but my guy Tiny, like that, a head like that, he went a couple of weeks ago. He went a month now, he's doing great and all, but, you know, he was so big and people were so, you know, because he acted up also in the kennel, and that's the problem. In the kennels, they show a lot differently than they do in our yards. We have 6 yards we show dogs in, and you know the dogs react off of each other in the kennels, and they get crazy and start spinning and doing whatever they do. And
more calm when they're outside.
yeah, so you're not really,
away from the
yeah, they're
sun.
confined. You don't see the true behavior of the animal. And
Look at this guy standing up.
he's great. This guy's great. He's fairly new. Jules just came in. He won't last. A dog like this will be gone in a couple of weeks. Yeah.
Yeah, and if you could say a little bit about what happens at bedtime. What's the process?
Normally, like she's already done and ready for the night with bedwise. Otherwise, if they aren't, we make them go outside in a positive way. We give them a nice soft blanket to lay on, then we put some treats down, make sure they're all secured, and then we bring them back in for the night and close their door. And that's it, and that's bed down.
Once they're all in, the lights go out, music starts, and it's quiet. You don't hear a thing. You don't hear a thing. Yeah. Yeah. What's their request?
He's got a cute
He's
face.
great.
Look at his eyes. How pretty his eyes are. Look at him.
They're a new initiative. It's an open house. It's really just trying to get more people to come in or engage the ones who are already coming to the shelter. A focus of those is education, and a big focus of education, like you both commented on, we have a lot of pit bulls, is breed education.
Right.
They are so misunderstood. They are gentle. They can be gentle. When they're bred to be vicious, they will be vicious.
But
Any animal, will be.
right? Any animal.
So,
Any person.
so we're focusing on that breed education, so that it helps give them a better chance at adoption too.
Right.
Because otherwise, people see pit bulls and they say no, and we're trying to help turn that around.
Well, I know even with my son, he gets very defensive when they're stereotyped.
Yep.
And so he has explained a lot to me too, because I didn't know before I
Right.
met his dog. I was afraid when I met his dog. And then when I had him over and dog sat for 3 weeks, he was like my baby. He followed me everywhere, and he was a big baby and wonderful.
And like any animal, some are going to be more social than not. Some might be more loners. Some are just going to be lap dogs.
Right.
It depends on the individual animal, but as a breed, the misconceptions are something.
That's good. For people to understand that.
Right. So this is a reclaim in action.
happy
What that
he
means. Look at her
is.
face.
Look how happy the dog
You can't
is.
even believe it. Yeah. This is, hi Mom, you came to get me.
It looks like she knows you.
Oh, it's their dog.
And it's a
She looks
beautiful
like she's
dog.
hugging you.
So animals will come to us either through animal control and they're strays or they're lost. People find them, and we have a 7-day holding period mandatory to give owners an opportunity to locate them, find out that they're here. We do a really aggressive social media search in partnership with all of the other shelters. And
Are you sure?
oftentimes we are able to reconnect them with their owners.
Right.
And it's
How did you find out that your dog was here?
I just need you to put your driver's license.
Oh, you took a
You
guess?
took a guess.
Okay.
It was a lucky guess.
No, they were called. Well, they
was
were
a
also
lucky
called
guess.
because the dog's microchipped.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's
And that's
great.
another thing. That's another thing we do. Every dog that gets adopted here gets microchipped, and
This is the info that
if microchip gets,
I don't know if this is your.
He's happy.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing too, when you have animals who already have a home, this is such a common reaction because you saw in there and you heard in there the stress of being in a shelter.
Yeah.
It's extremely difficult for the animals. They're barking. It's disruptive, and when you have a dog that's not used to that,
When they microchip the dogs, though, it's up to the owners to register the microchip. So we'll get a dog in and scan them. That's the first thing you do is scan them, and it's great when that beep goes off. But then we go on the computer and look it up. Now it's up to that owner to register that microchip. If they didn't register it,
Oh, it's not going to help anything.
it's
It's not
useless.
going to even
Yeah.
help.
So once again, we microchip every animal that comes out of here. It's up to the owners to register the microchip, and it's free. I mean, well, it's part of their adoption fee, which is insignificant as is. So
So remember, register that microchip.
yes.
Get that done.
pet safety.
So if your pet ever gets lost, wanders away,
And that's one
Be
thing
able to find them.
we're offering at Wolfstock is microchipping as well.
$25 courtesy of County Line Vet.
Yep. Bring your dogs, get them microchipped, and Dr. Mark will take care of it. That's our house vet, great vet, and those wonderful things.
So behind
Josh.
us is our new giving tree, courtesy of one of our wonderful volunteers, Ann Lowe's, who donated the paint supplies. We put this together. They're apple paws, so we're covered in apples. It's our apple paw tree, and the paws are $20. It's a wonderful way, an easy way for people to be able to memorialize or honor or recognize their two-legged friends, their four-legged friends, their family. And this just debuted 2 weeks ago. We're getting a nice showing. It's an easy way to support your local shelter. It's one of the things that's listed on our website under the how to help, how to donate, the very different ways that you can do that. So this is something new here.
that's nice. So there are many ways you can help. So get on that website and help out.
And volunteer. We always need
Volunteer.
volunteers.
You'll fall in love with one of these animals.
Yes.
Maybe I'll shake his hand.
You cut the tree.
Let's see how what he knows. Sit. Good boy. Good boy. Come on. High five. There you go. I see you looking at me.
This is Hooper. Hooper?
Sit.
He's our handsome hound.
I felt that. I felt that. We love you, Heart of Philly.